Hello, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Now, obviously, we've just witnessed that disappointing 0-0 draw again for the third season in a row away at Everton. Obviously, not the result we were looking for. If we won this game and then beat Crystal Palace, we would have had the Guard of Honour at Manchester City on the Thursday game next week, or the week after, I think it is. Unlucky not to win today. Now, listen, what's going to happen today is we're going to have some fans in and out of the stream to let us know what they thought. First of all, I'm going to bring in my good friend Danny Mulby Alonso back to the Kop TV. How you doing, my brother?
What's happening, lad? It's been a while.
It's been a long time, Danny. It's very good to see your face, mate. Very good to see your face. I've missed you a lot, brother.
Yeah, I've missed you, mate. Anti-climax, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so let's get into the game then, Dan. This game was really supposed to be a bit of a breeze for Liverpool. We were all thinking beforehand it would be fairly comfortable. And now I know we haven't scored at Everton since that late Mane goal. I mean, is this now something that you're slightly worried about, that we can't seem to score at Goodison at the minute?
No, not really. All things considered, you've got to think of the whole situation, and I think you've got to think about... I've said it before loads of times, and it happened again this year. After we have a big break, we struggle. Rhythm's a big thing for Klopp's teams. And I think you see that with the type of players you come in. Today, you had the crowd obviously makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
You know, you can say what you want about Everton, but it's normally a good atmosphere there, you know what I mean? So, the crowd have made the difference. Liverpool haven't played football for, 3 months?
106 days.
106 days, lad. So
a long time, mate.
It is a long time, and we are a team like that sort of thrive on rhythm and thrive on that, right? We've beat them, who's next, we've beat them, who's next. Then adding that, like, Salah wasn't there, that gives you the little bit of edge. Andy Robbo, you've got him missing, that gives you a little bit of difference.
100%.
Minamino as well, like, you know, he was okay, but just not really at the races. Keita did all right. Everyone did, like, okay, but I can't imagine. The analogy I used before was, imagine being a band and playing a gig to no crowd. That's what it's like. Football, it's been shown today. It's no good without fans. It's no good, lad. People saying about that, the German games and all that, and I thought, oh no, it'll still feel good because it's Liverpool now. And this is just an admin exercise now. Get the games played so that the telly money doesn't go. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. It did feel a little bit like that today. I mean, there were still some big tackles flying in. I think Milner was booked after 20 minutes. If we look at what happened in the game then, Dan, I mean, early on, I think... pardon me. I haven't got corona, by the way, guys.
Have you been tested, lad?
Yeah, no, that's just run-of-the-mill hay fever, and nothing to worry about. So, Dan, going back to what's happened in the game, I mean, I remember an early wayward shot from Minamino that wasn't really going to ever trouble Pickford. Fabinho has a really, really late free kick that we all see that was probably going in, apart from Pickford tipping it over. Let's not lie here, Mulby Alonso. Everton had a lot of chances to win this game.
You were unlucky early. I know Joe Gomez makes a little bit of a spawny block.
Yeah.
At the end from Tom Davies. The flick from Calvert-Lewin was good. Lovren just makes you nervous, doesn't he? You see him come on, and then I think Carragher said in the comments he's too emotional. He tries to win that battle. Like, he doesn't really need to win.
Yeah.
Winning the game's more important than his own personal battles, and the more I see him, again, you've not just got...
He's got to go. He's got to go.
Who are you going to get? I mean, he's all right. It's like a fourth choice, but who are you going to get to come in and be fourth choice? That's the question. But
Hoover.
It's another thing.
Hoover.
Hoover, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I'd agree with that. I'd replace him with Hoover. You're going to get the same amount of mistakes and more improvements as you go. So, yeah. But you've got a Lovren without rhythm coming into a team. Without rhythm, with no fans, no adrenaline.
Absolutely.
He's had good games in his Liverpool career, but today he's shown that maybe we should swap him out for Hoover.
Absolutely. I think the next game, I mean, listen, it's not ideal that two of our defenders go off injured. Milner goes off, of course, after maybe 40 minutes, and then Matip's off. And I like you say, Dan, even for 10 minutes, coming on. Lovren for me he exudes anxiety. Like, why is he fighting with Richarlison? Every time that Lovren was kind of drawn across to that right side, they just send a ball over his head, and he looks like Bambi when that ball kind of. Anyway, I don't want to get into him too much, but let's look at some positives. I mean, another clean sheet for Liverpool. No goals for Everton. You could tell that they, defended for this 0-0 win. But in terms of the positives, what can we take away?
Look, Liverpool is still there. You can still see that quality. There was a little 5-minute period where they just settled down and were just playing 1 and 2 touch. And it was when Keita was involved. Keita was taking a couple of risks. I think he played a 1-2 on the edge of the box with Mane. Yeah. And you thought to yourself, okay, we're starting to get a little fuzzled. That didn't really that didn't develop into the dominance that you believe. But positives, yeah, a clean sheet. We're still going to win the league. And, there wasn't 45,000 people, however many, Everton can hold 35,000 getting coronavirus. And the fuzzy's back. It is good. I'm more thinking about, like, when can we if we even do have a full strength team, is it going to be affected by the crowd? The team have shown in some situations, like away in Europe, big partisan crowds, that they have been affected before. We've also done well in those situations. You think about Belgrade, you think about Rome.
Well, we lost to Belgrade, didn't we? That's
what I mean.
So
we're affected negatively by crowd situations.
Yeah.
Could it be some weird perverse situation where now there's no crowd, we're affected negatively as well? Players must be affected by this. It must be so weird for them.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward, Dan, I think obviously we'd hope that we can beat Palace next week on Wednesday, and the game after that is City. We could potentially win it at the Etihad. Before you go, Dan, can we win it at the Etihad, and do you think we will?
I think Burnley are going to beat Man City tomorrow, and then we win it on Wednesday.
Okay, so alternative shout, definitely. All right, well, listen, Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you again, brother. All right, listen, I hope sooner rather than later I can see you back outside Anfield and we can have a drink and forget this stuff even ever happened. But yeah, all the best, my brother, and I'll see you very soon. Yeah, take care, dude. In a bit. Next up on the Kop TV fan channel tonight, we've got Stephen. How you doing, mate?
Good.
Good to see you again. Seen you outside the stadium a few times as well. I'm very good, sir. And we've also got Darren Whelan. How are you doing, sir? Nice shirt that is, mate.
Cheers, lads. Thanks for having me on.
No worries at all. Now, I'm going to start with you, Stephen, then we'll come to Darren after. 0-0 in the end. Everton probably did have the better chances. In the last 5 minutes, were you thinking, let's take this 0-0 and get out of here? Stephen, are you with us? Darren, do you want to jump in then, just in case Stevens comes back in a minute?
Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't a great performance, but I thought a lot of positives. Obviously, the football being back is good. Happy days. 105 days since our last game. So, look, I mean, it was a typical game going to Goodison, not scoring. Wasn't great. Wasn't too many chances on our end. They had the best chance and they still couldn't score. So, not great, but I mean, it's another point closer to the title, and we have to be optimistic at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I was saying to Danny there just before, a 0-0. We haven't scored there now for 3 seasons in a row. Is that something that you're maybe worried about now, thinking that, well, this is clearly a barrier that we haven't been able to break past, scoring a goal at Goodison?
I wouldn't say concerned because they've improved. I think bringing Ancelotti in, like as a Liverpool fan, I was surprised he'd went there. They've spent a lot more money even than us in the last couple of seasons. So I wouldn't say it's a concern. Like this year, we've just been so dominant. Like what was it? We've played 30 now, 2 draws, 1 defeat. Like that's sensational stuff. You know what I mean? And the fact that we went so close last season, 97 points, didn't win it, and we've just been relentless since then and haven't really made any major signings. Like we brought in Harvey Elliott. He's more of a squad player. Obviously, won't in the future. But I just think it's incredible what Klopp's done and what's going on at Liverpool at the moment. I wouldn't be concerned. look, if we win a Wednesday night, we look at today as being a positive. So, but it would be good to obviously go to Goodison and get the goals, get a win. But it can't always be that way, you know.
No, not always. Now, Stephen, you're back with us. Give me your thoughts on the game.
It's the mentality, innit? Like, it weren't up there. It weren't the high level as what we normally see. And there weren't many chances, or like Everton did have quite a few chances, but the mentality, it's like when you have 3 months off on 106 days.
Yeah,
it's just, you need to get like into your rhythm. It's like the opening day of this season. It's like, it's tough starting off with, then once you get used to it, it just goes into up, then you go into your rhythm, and then you go on from there.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about it's been 106 days since
Everton had a few chances, but
yeah, absolutely, you're right. Everton did have good chances. You speak about momentum there, Stephen. Do you think it's going to take us maybe 2 or 3 games to even reach the heights that we did have before this huge layoff, to actually reach our level again? Do you think it might take 2 or 3 games, and we might be looking at a title celebration maybe, 5 or 6 games into this? Not ideal.
Oh yeah, I think like was it Alonso said, I think Burnley are going to win tomorrow, and I think we could win it on Wednesday, but like it will take time to get back used to it. But you can't tell the difference without Salah.
Yeah,
Salah was a big miss today.
Darren, coming to you. So the lineup is announced. There's no Robertson. There's no Jimmy Wijnaldum. There's no Salah. I mean, with 15 minutes to go, I was thinking, do we bring him on? But then at that point, you think, well, Klopp's probably not going to risk it that late. Darren, do you think not starting Salah, even though he looked fit on the bench, was a stumbling block today?
Possibly, yeah. I when I first seen the starting lineup, I obviously, I suppose all of us raised an eyebrow. I was a bit surprised, but I remember last season, and it might have been the season before that as well, and when we were at Old Trafford, Salah wasn't really that clinical or sharp. So if he's not fit, it's obviously not worth taking the risk. Look, like us all, we want to get the title wrapped up as soon as possible, but if it means not having Salah injured, doing it the right way, you might have to wait a little bit longer, then so be it. But yeah, it possibly was, because we did lack that bit of creativity and that bit more fluidity up front that we didn't really see today. And Everton didn't do much for it either, but they had that one good chance that they should have done better on. But yeah, I think having Salah probably would have just given us that extra option and that bit more flair,
Yeah, I mean, Minamino starts in place of Salah. I think Stephen Minamino has a shot quite early on. But to see him dragged off at half time, I thought that was, I mean, if you're going to start him, at least give him to 60. Or does Klopp think, I've got 5 subs, I can do what I want?
If we're doing like the subs, you got like 5 substitutions, haven't you? So
yeah.
It is hard to take him off.
Couple of connection issues there with Stephen. We're just going to take him off and give Darren his final word. So going forward, I mean, I asked Danny there before, can we win it on Wednesday perhaps if Burnley beat City tomorrow? Or are we looking now, Darren, at a grandstand finish at the Etihad to seal the title, considering we beat Palace on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'd like to think we can win it still on Wednesday. I think you have to be optimistic, and obviously you have to be positive about it. Realistically, we might have to wait till the Etihad. A friend of mine was talking to me the other day, and I said to him, look, the very, very latest worst case scenario, if we start off a bit slow, results go away, we'll have it wrapped up this day 2 weeks against Villa at home. So I can wait till then if I really have to, but obviously I'd love to do a Wednesday. But imagine winning it, going to City and winning it after how it went last season for us, it'd be really, really good. And it'd be high emotions that night, and in Manchester too, of course.
Absolutely, mate. I'm looking forward to that. One last thought from you, Darren. Indra here says Naby had a good game. I was very impressed with Naby. I think in that position where
Very good.
Adam normally plays, I feel like Naby plays just a little bit further forward, where he can bring out the step overs and the tight controls. He had a good game. Who's your man of the match for Liverpool today?
I thought Keita before he was taken off, and I said I'm at the put the mockers on him here. Yeah, Keita was really good. I thought when Mane had the ball, he tried to create something. He was trying to just do what he does best. Wasn't really, no one would really stood out for me apart from Keita. But for my man of the match from Liverpool today, obviously I'd say Keita here.
Yeah, I thought Trent didn't have the best game today compared to his normal standards. A few crosses that went astray. But listen, Darren, thanks so much for joining, mate. And we'll see you
Thanks for having me on.
soon.
Yeah.
And give you a shout when we play again.
I will do. Cheers. Take care. Thanks for having me on. All the best.
No worries at all. Next up, I've got one of the youngest fans of the Kop TV. He's been messaging me to come on, and it's an absolute pleasure to have Pradhan. You're a YouTuber.
Hello. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know where to start with that game. You know, I don't know if it's you or I just personally was not impressed at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really disagree with you. I think if you watch the live stream of the watch along, I was pretty much falling asleep, to be honest. 65 minutes in. I can't remember what happened in the first half whatsoever. I mean, talk me through how the game went for you.
Well, so obviously it's a Merseyside derby. It's a massive game to return to, which for me, I was quite looking forward to in it because I thought the Reds, we know that it's the first game back in months. It's our game to go there and win. So I thought, you know what, Liverpool are going to be flying. We could put a couple of past them tonight. And then it started off any typical derby. No one wants to make rash decisions. No one wants to, especially after such a long break. So I could understand it started off slow. Then it didn't pick up at all. I don't know if you remember, we had one chance near the end of the first half where Bobby flicked it on to Mane, and I think he should have cut in on his right and just hit it. But then he cut back on his left, give it to Naby, and by the time Everton had about like 8 men in the box, and it was half time after that. It did not pick up at all. It's just boring. Liverpool, I think they were very slow passing it around. They had like a couple of decent corners where Van Dijk got his head too, but you know what? I was very disappointed with the game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned in the fan cam just before, do you think that? I mean, there's been a lot of talk about how Liverpool only need 2 wins to win it. It's obviously such a long wait since we've won it. But have we actually taken into account that we might take 2 or 3 games to get at the level again, and we might not win the league until maybe the City game or even past that?
Yeah, I know. The only excuse that the only thing I'm telling myself in the head is that it's the first game of like competitive football in months, in 100+ days. So you can lay off them a bit, but I think because of how well we were playing, I think a lot of people expected us to go there and win by 3 goals at least because of how high our standards are. But I was saying to my dad when we were watching the game, I personally reckon Palace is a tough game. I don't know why everyone's thinking it's going to be an easy win because Palace last night were really, really good. I know they were playing Bournemouth, which obviously aren't the best, haven't been the best this season, but I think they're a very good side. They're a tough game. I reckon we will get the win for like 2-1 or something. And then City, if we play like that, we'll get absolutely tonked because City started off very well at the first game on Wednesday against Arsenal. Like, did you watch it? Because they played really good when I was watching it against Arsenal. Like, they were playing very good. So personally, I think it could take, like you said, it could take longer than City or maybe a couple of games. But after City, our fixtures are very, very easy. So I reckon we'll be fine. But yeah, just 2 tough games coming in the next week or so.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking forward to the next game, do you throw Salah straight back in? Do you throw back in Ginny? Do you? I mean, listen, Milner was injured today, who's our backup at left back. Robertson didn't play. So, I mean, who starts left back the next game?
Well, I think, early on this week, there was a bit of news that Salah and Robertson had a bit of a knock and might not be fit, which obviously carried on to today. Which I think personally, Robertson, I reckon he'd be all right by Wednesday and will start. And with the other players, I reckon Salah will get put in. And like the players that you've seen on the bench today will start over players that played today. Do you get what I mean? So like Mane might get rotated for Salah, Origi might start. You know what I mean? Just rotate a bit. Wijnaldum will come in for Fabinho or Keita. Chamberlain might come in and like Gomez for Matip. You know, just to give fresh legs because you don't expect like the start 11 to play every week because they've not played for how long. So I reckon that you'll see some big change from the team tonight on Wednesday. I reckon it'll be a complete different side.
Have you got a score prediction for what you reckon on Wednesday? You said 2-1.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
I'm going to stick with 2-1 because I think Palace, I think they've been a good side for the past couple of years. And when they came to Anfield, especially last year or the year before, it was 4-3. It was literally neck and neck for the whole game. Then Mane had a good little play late on and got a goal to win it. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I think, to be fair, I've got a feeling about Monday, tomorrow, about Burnley getting something out of City. So that's the ideal situation because if Burnley somehow manage to work with a magic against City, then it makes our lives a little bit easier. But you don't expect anyone to go to the Etihad and win. So we've got to do what we're doing and play every game and try and win it.
listen, how old are you, bro, by the way?
14.
Wow, do you know what? One of the most knowledgeable, down-to-earth Liverpool fans I know. So young as well.
Yeah.
Let's see that kit. Is that the 87 away kit?
Yeah. It's the new. It's not like the material thing brand new. It's been like it's the replica, but it's not like the same material and style. It's got a little bit of change. The badge has been changed as well. It's over here, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah.
You're a YouTuber as well, so tell us where we can find you, man.
Well, my name is The Welford TV. I do Liverpool content, the odd bit of football content, but I've got a video that I'm editing on my laptop, which will be out. What time is it? Maybe at like 10ish. It's not the most entertaining video you'll see, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm disappointed with the result tonight, but you just got to get on with it. We've not scored a goal since Mane's last minute winner. Was that 17-18 or 16-17? Yeah, like that's the last time he's got. And thing is, I just did my outro before my video, and I went in because like if you think about it, Everton are like 12th. They've been battered by some teams at home, and we're like meant to be the best team in Europe or even in the world, as people have named us, and we can't even go to Goodison and get a result. But
listen, head up, Welford. You've got a lot of years ahead of you. Trust me, there's going to be up, my bro. So keep your head up. But listen, thanks so much for coming on, and everyone get into Welford TV, and I hopefully see you.
Thanks for having me on, mate. Thank you for having me on.
No worries whatsoever. Next up, a Kop TV debut for a very, very talented man. He's in the music industry. He's a big grime artist. He goes by the name of Hitman. He's a big red as well. That's how we've come together. And here he is now wearing the business, the gear.
Yes.
Loving it, bro. How are you?
I'm good, bro. Just enjoying Father's Day, man. Just watch the game. One of them ones, man.
Listen, I wish we could have had a better Father's Day present for you. Neil. You've already been tweeting your thoughts. Go on, man. Tell me what you think.
I think, it was a bit dull today. I think we lacked width today, like we missed Robertson and Salah, to be fair. Like, I think Minamino done all right. Naby done all right as well, but the cutting thrust weren't there as it usually was. But to be fair, we've been off for 3 months, so you can get a let off for that one, you know what I mean? So, a bit rusty. I reckon midweek we'll be back to our sharpness, so I'll take the 0-0. As long as we didn't lose, I'll take the 0-0.
I mean, we wouldn't have lost, mate. We haven't lost there for 10 years, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, we had a few moments, though. Once Lovren came on, you see when Lovren comes on, I always panic because I just don't know. He just puts nerves in the whole team. And I knew as soon as he came on, the whole game would change, and that's when they nearly scored when he came on. So, I think he needs to bring something.
I mean, I've watched Lovren, as you have, for many years at Liverpool. I watched him. Yeah. I had a very good view of him when I was at the Shrewsbury FA Cup game this season when he was actually captain. And it strikes me, I mean, I just can't get my head around someone who's just touched his 30s. If he's not 32, he's probably 31. He's played in a World Cup final, 2 Champions League finals, and this man has no positional awareness. And it's like he wants to...
He's really bad, man. He's really bad. It's like what he does, he defends too tight. So anytime someone's playing against him, because he's so tight, all they have to do is spin him or just drop on spin. They're gone and left him. And then the rest of our defense is panicking because he's out of place.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot of the time when he plays. So I just think that he's had his stay for Liverpool now. When he came, he was in a poor position. We wasn't as good as we are now. The levels that we've became at, Lovren isn't good enough, you know what I mean? Like, we've got Matip, Gomez and Van Dijk. We need another defender at that level. We need a cover for Robertson, I'd say, as well.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there. Would you say that if, I mean, let's say Lovren leaves this summer, like you, I'm very much of the idea of like, come on, let's shake hands. It's been a decent 5 years, but off you go now. Someone for me like a Hoover could come in. I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, I think, he's a big talent, and even Van der Berg as well. You know what I mean? Like we're stocked up in that talent there. So even one of them, you could even give a chance. And at right back as well, we've still even Hoover. He can play centre back and right back. So we got cover there. It's just no cover on the left at all. And you've seen it today. Like the whole game was going down the right. Not once did they go down the left.
Yeah.
And when Robertson's there, Robertson plays. We're a totally different team, even with Salah. And I think that's what we're lacking. We don't have no balance on the left when those two players don't play. Like it doesn't matter whoever you put in, it's just still not the same because they're not actually. That's not their position, is it? They're, like if you put Origi left wing, he's still actually a striker, so he's not going to be doing the stuff Salah would do. And if you play Milner at left back, he's a midfielder playing at left back, so he's not going to do what Robertson would do. So they're two positions I think in the summer we really need to address because, as you've seen today, like there was no balance, man. Like everything was down the right, and I think if we had width on the left as well, we would have won today easily.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree with you more, bro. I think once you choose Milner to start the derby at left back, he gets injured. I mean, who's going to start at left back the next game?
This is what I mean. But I reckon they're saying Robertson should be back next game, so hopefully he's back next game. If not, then I'd play Larouche because he runs.
But he's
you know what I mean, like.
No, do you know what I mean?
And he's left-footed as well, so I don't understand why he didn't even give him a chance today. Like. It's a bit of a mad one, to be fair. Or even play free at the back today if you weren't going to play no left backs. Play free at the back, push Trent into right wing or something. Like, just change the whole formation if you knew Robertson weren't going to play.
Yeah, I feel like Robertson's out that team. You lose the balance, I think.
Yeah, you lose everything.
They were targeting Milner a lot because they knew that he wasn't the same as Robertson. He got a yellow card.
He got the yellow card within the first 15, 20 minutes. So... he was on a tightrope from there, really, and Everton have got quite a lot of quick players. So if he stayed on, he might have not even lasted the full game. If I'm being honest.
Do you know what?
3 months off as well.
When he went down with that injury, I kind of thought in my head, he's like he might know here that he's going to go if he stays.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, I reckon the same as well. But for the first game back after 3 months, it weren't as bad as I thought. To be fair, we still was passing it around. We just never had the same cutting edge as what we usually have. So I reckon it might take a few games before we get back into the full swing of things.
You say the full swing of things. I mean, because our form was just unreal this season, a lot of people seem to think, well, listen, it's 2 games. They'll blitz Everton and they'll blitz Palace. Welford just there before said Palace is going to be a tough game. I mean, when do you now think we're going to win the league? Which game can you pinpoint now?
We've got Palace next midweek, and then who we got after Palace?
And then
we've got
City, and then the Villa.
City. So I'm saying, like, this is how it really is. We could actually win it at City.
Yeah.
Because if we win midweek and City win tomorrow, then we only need one more win, and our next game after Palace is City. So that game there just becomes even more on the line. You know what I mean? Like, it's a juicy one. What's to win a league at City and they are the champions would hurt them a lot.
Yeah, I think if we won it against Palace, I think we would have got the Guard of Honor actually at City.
Yeah.
It would be even sweeter, even if there's there isn't many fans there anyway. To be fair,
I'd just love to win it at City's ground. I would, just for the fact that they're champions and how we've smoked the league this year. It would be the icing on the cake to win it at City.
Yeah,
if I'm honest, that's how I'd love to win. I'd love to end it like that. Finish the league at City.
To finish off, then, bro. In terms of a man of the match today, who do we think?
It's a tough one, you know. I would have said Naby Keita, but they took him off.
Yeah, they did.
So I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, this is a tough one. Is because not very much people played very well. I'm gonna go for Hendo. You know.
Yeah, fair play, man.
He grafted all day today. He put in a shift, to be fair. For the first game off after 3 months, I'm going to go with Hendo. Only because Naby Keita came off.
Well, you say
So,
we're
yeah.
going to do it against City. John thinks we're going to do it against Villa. I mean, listen, either way, whoever it gets done by, we're going to enjoy that moment, no doubt. But Hitman, listen, where can we find you on socials? Like, what have you got coming up that we can look out for, man? Big
You know what? I've got some singles coming out within the next few weeks or so. I've just put everything on hold with all this pandemic going on. You can find me on my socials, Hitman's Online, on Twitter and Instagram the same. But yeah, all my music on Spotify, Hitman's Online. Yeah, man, I've got some stuff out. Just check it out.
Listen, I'm definitely co-signing it. I'm definitely supporting you all the way, my brother. Big part of the LFC family.
Yeah, man,
when the next game is on, Hitman, I'm going to give you a shout. But until then, thank you so much for coming on.
Man, definitely, bro. Respect, man. Respect.
Big up, my brother. Right, so as you can see from some of the comments, please let me know if you are locked in and watching the live fan cams. We've got one more to go, I think, and then we're going to call it a day. I think the next caller we have is Louie, who we have actually interviewed on the Kop TV before. But we've got some viewers in tonight now, so let me know where you're watching from. I'm actually just going to move this across and plug my laptop into the charger, just so we don't run out. But yeah, like I said, let us know where you're watching the live fan cams from as we come into the last one. I mean, in the comments, let me know who you think man of the match was. I think there's a bit of contention about this one because not one player really stood out, to be honest, in terms of an outstanding performance. I think you could maybe throw Naby Keita into that hat. He had a good first half and then was taken off for the Ox, which, to be fair, I thought was a little bit premature. Mino again for me didn't do enough to give Klopp a selection headache for the next game. I don't think that's going to happen. But we're just waiting for our second caller. If you do want to jump in on this stream tonight, just let me know. Next caller is ready. Louie, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing fine. How are you, mate?
Yes, very good. Thank you, bro. Now listen, tell me your thoughts, man, because I think it would have been easy to run away with this tonight and go, we should have won this 3 or 4-0, which I did predict. 0-0, 0 goals at Goodison in 3 years, Louis.
Happens every season, doesn't it? 0-0. We missed Robbo a lot tonight and Salah, obviously. I thought Keita was brilliant tonight as well. He was quality. My man of the match, personally. Thought Mane was all right. He had that chance where he could have maybe played Keita to the left of him in the first half, which I thought. That one, yeah. But bloody hell, Everton nearly had a fucking goal, didn't they? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean...
Then they snatched it.
As soon as Lovren comes on, like I was saying to Hitman there, it's like that guy just absolutely exudes anxiety. Like whenever he's on the ball, even if there's no one around him, I get nervous. I just don't know what he's going to do. You could clearly see the Everton balls over the top were all aimed at Lovren after he came on. They obviously wanted to get Calvert-Lewin in like a one-on-one, almost a fight with Lovren, which worked for them. He was beaten on that side at least 3 times. And it's funny that all their good chances happen when he comes onto the pitch.
Yeah, they're totally out the game. Totally out the game. Then he comes on. Oh, bloody, he needs to go. Roma won him, so ship him off to Roma. Not really bothered.
Let us know in the comments. Does Dejan Lovren need to go? John Watt here says Lovren defo needs to go. I mean, look, we don't like to make people out to be, awful players because Dejan Lovren isn't. He's played at a very, very high level. But like I just said to Hitman, I do think it's time that we maybe just shake hands and say, listen, thanks for the service, and then promote someone like a Hoover. Would you be up for that?
Hoover, yeah, he's good. And they've got Nico Williams at right back, but maybe sign someone, I don't know, on a free transfer. Don't know what Klopp's on about, but Klopp can get a lot of gems, can't he? So who knows?
Sorry, my missus just brought me in a post-match beverage. Budweiser, other beers are available, of course. And if you are going to drink alcohol, do it responsibly because that's what matters, of course. So, yeah, I mean, going forward, Louis, we've got Palace on Wednesday. That's going to be a tough game. We've actually, I mean, listen, the last team that beat us at Anfield was Crystal Palace in 2007.
I watched them last night. They looked all right last night against Bournemouth. Milivojevic's free kick, and they looked alright.
Yeah, I mean, 4 clean sheets in a row for Palace.
Yeah, they're in good form.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the score is going to be for that one? Tight?
I think it'll be 1-0, 2-0, maybe 2-1.
Yeah, I can see it being a tough one, that one, to be honest, mate. Have you got any plans to kind of get to Anfield when the season does allow for fans to come back?
Next season, hopefully, if they let us back. But I'm hopefully, when we win the league, I'm probably going to go city centre, probably.
Where do you live, Louie?
Pardon?
Where do you live?
St Anne's, about 50 minutes away from Liverpool.
Okay, lovely. All right, well, listen, I hope to see you outside Anfield again, because I've met you down there before, so looking forward to that, mate. But yeah, until next time, take care. Mr. Stroh says room for one more. Absolutely, my brother. Take care, Louie. All the best, my bro.
Yeah, I knew.
Enjoy it, man. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Stroh also says get Lovren away from our club. I'm going to invite Stroh into this stream now because I'd like to hear what he thinks about this evening's game. Another big Liverpool fan who's on the streams with myself recently. So let's get him on when he's ready. But yeah, I mean, he says get Lovren away from our club. He'll be on in a second to stick up for that statement he's made there. But I'd have to agree. Again, Lovren comes on and just makes us all panic a bit. Completely in control of the game. If you listen to what Louie said, the game wasn't really going anywhere. Everton, until those 3 chances that they had, really didn't focus too much on making Alisson do any work. I mean, there was a shot / cross that zimmed by the goal yard, the face of the goal with Alisson in the first half from Richarlison. And apart from that, I genuinely couldn't remember anything that Everton did attacking-wise until Dejan Lovren comes on the pitch, where it all kind of unfolds and Everton get a few chances. And to be fair, if Liverpool got those chances, the same ones that Everton got, you would have thought we would have been a bit sharper and put them away. But that's Everton for you. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to jump in on the stream. I'm going to take 2 more calls. I think we're going to go to Stroh when he gets on, and then we'll take 1 more call after as well. But listen, 0-0 isn't ideal. But listen, we've got Stroh on to the stream now. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. You?
Very good. Nice kit. So listen, like he's just said there, get Lovren away from the club. I mean, listen to this fact, right? So the last 2 games that we've lost, Watford and Man City, Lovren has started both of those games. If we did lose tonight, let's say we did lose 1-0 from one of those chances that they created in the last 15 minutes, probably would have been Lovren's fault. And that would have been 3 losses, all from him. And he was only on the pitch 15 minutes, man.
Honestly, he's a joke. Not even like taking a piss or anything or taking a mick. When he came on, I actually texted my mate who's a Liverpool fan and said, David Luiz incoming.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I then look up and he's wrestling Richarlison and he's falling on the floor. He's trying to wrestle Calvert-Lewin. Carragher made a great point where he said it's all about ego. And then when you think about it, that this man had the audacity, whilst in the same team as Virgil van Dijk, to turn around and say, I am the best defender in the world, right? Yeah. And you look at the performances that this man puts out week in, week out, he's awful. He really is. He's honestly like, I just want him so far away from the club. And that is one area that I really want Liverpool to strengthen because, listen, let's say Joe Gomez gets injured. Let's say, for example, then after that, Matip might pick a knock-up for 1 or 2 games. Then we're stuck with Lovren. Then what? Like, think about it. We're going to be going into next season as champions and looking to defend our title. We can't defend a title with him at the back. It's awful. He wouldn't get into any top 6 team. I don't think he'd get into many top 8 teams, to be honest. And then you've got, honestly, I just can't be dealing with him. Like, if it wasn't for Alisson, we'd have 100% lost that game.
100%. Alisson does well to stand up tall and make that save. Darren, who was on the stream earlier, always very nervy when I see Lovren playing. I mean, he is one of those players like Louise, who you just mentioned there, that does kind of give off that nervous kind of anxiety around him. He says on a more positive note, it's great to see Matip and Gomez fighting to play alongside Van Dijk. I mean, when Gomez comes on at left back, Stroh, you're thinking, well, we've already had Milner, who's a backup left back. Gomez is there now. I mean, who do you realistically think is going to start left back in the next game?
I mean, it all depends on Robertson. Like, I don't know. I know both him and Salah miss training. You know what Klopp's like. If one of them misses training, he normally likes him to have a week's training in. So I knew that none of them would be starting. It was when he wasn't in the squad is what surprised me. It's slightly worrying. But let's not forget, Gomez, when he joined from Charlton, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, his first season under Rodgers was he predominantly played left back, and he was arguably one of our best players for a few months. I remember the away game at Arsenal; he was phenomenal. So I don't feel nervous with him being at left back. The issue is we lose that attacking threat massively. You've seen it. He's always having to cut inside, and you spotted the difference straight away. You looked at. There was one point in the game, I remember seeing Kiter picking a ball up at left back. I was thinking, Jesus, where's Milner? And he's so high and wide, exactly where Robertson would be. I was like, okay. So Milner knows how to play that because he's played there a lot under Klopp. Whereas you looked at when Gomez came on, it was a lot more reserved. Don't get me wrong, he slowly started to grow into the game, but it depends on Robertson. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gomez and he just kept Matip because Matip didn't do much wrong. Matip actually had quite a decent game. He was coming out with the ball. He looked confident. So, it's just my worry is attacking wise and going forward because we lose a massive edge when Robertson's not there and especially when Trent's not at 100% because everyone just looked rusty.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Trent did look a bit rusty today. When we normally have Trent and both Robbo playing, we start our attacks so wide and then come in kind of narrow at the top. And we just didn't have that today. We had no kind of raking balls that you would normally see from Trent over to Robbo and vice versa. There was no kind of defense splitting stuff that happened. I mean, genuinely, bro, I was yawning on 65 minutes. Like, I don't know what everyone else thought, that we were going to come back and win this 3 or 4-0, but it just wasn't the case tonight.
No, I mean, I texted my mate and I was just like, I think it was about 60 minutes. I was just like, I just can't see this happening. And he's like, what a goal. I was like, yeah. And then Lovren came on and obviously I said David Luiz incoming. About 5 minutes later, I went, I can see a goal happening, but it ain't going to be from us. It's going to be down to Lovren's mistakes. I'll tell you what, though, one thing that I was surprised at, and I can understand why, was Kiter coming off.
Yeah.
He looked so sharp. The thing is, it's like, for rival fans, all they've heard is Liverpool fans hype about Kiter's potential and how good he can be. I mean, obviously the away game at Bournemouth where he goes on that mad little dribble last season, nutmegs a few people. I watched quite a lot of German football. I remember him at Leipzig. The season before he came, he was unbelievable. But he was starting attacks like what he was doing in the first half. The one where he's playing that 1-2 on the edge of the box and he's driving like that. That's Naby Keita. I just want us to see more of it. But yeah, he looked so good. The good thing coming out of this is it's like a mini pre-season for us. I just want us to finish on a high. Like, obviously, you've got City play on Monday. If they win there, we beat Palace. It depends if they drop. I believe, from what I read, any points at Chelsea, the title's ours. But even so, like, yeah, I know the title's going to be ours anyway. I just want us to finish the season on a high. And more importantly, I want to get Kiter firing for next season because he can be a real difference maker, especially in games like that where teams just want to sit back and don't really want to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing with you on the Kiter situation. I think, as you know, Klopp does hold back some players to really let them shine, and I think Minamino is one of those that could come well next season or the season after. But Keita, for me, I mean, we haven't seen enough of him, bro. But his close control. I mean, we've spoken about it on the football terrace, haven't we? About how kind of dangerous Keita can be. I know Grizz is a big fan of Keita as well, who's a big Liverpool fan. Do you feel like this is now a time where Keita probably starts over Ginny with the 5 subs?
It wouldn't surprise me given Ginny's contract situation. So, although I understand from what I've been reading, the contract situation looks like it's going well. He's still not signed a contract extension yet, so that is slightly worrying. But I can see Keita getting more starts. I mean, listen, Henderson could potentially go on to win PFA Player of the Year. He didn't really do much tonight, and that's not a criticism at Henderson. That's not me having a go at Henderson. He's had an absolutely phenomenal season. But just looking at the game from a neutral point of view, we didn't really impact it much. But then again, not a lot of many people did, and understandably, they've not played for 105 days. So I completely get that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went with a midfield three of, let's say, a Fabinho, Gini, and Keita at some point in the next couple of weeks, just to try out certain types of midfields. Because listen, we're in a great position where we can try certain things that you never normally get to test in a normal Premier League season because of how far ahead we are. Obviously, he's not going to get carried away. He'll probably do that once we've got the title wrapped up. But as soon as that's done, I mean, we've got Aston Villa after the City game. If we've already got the title wrapped up by then, it's a great opportunity to bring in the likes of Harvey Elliott, get Curtis Jones some game time, especially with the fact that Lallana is going to be leaving at the end of the season. But yeah, I just want to see more of Keita, like you said, because I know that there's real potential in there. He just needs to get a consistent run of games.
Yeah, to totally agree with you, man. Listen, when we do the next watch along, I'll give you a shout, bro, and we'll get you on. But thanks for your time, and we'll take care and see you soon. All the best. Next up, I've got Matt on the stream. How you doing, my sir?
I'm good. I think my phone's a bit of a shit quality. Android kicking in well and truly here.
Yeah, it looks like you're filming on a potato there, geezer. But listen, nice shirt. Obviously, I've been with you many times watching Liverpool. We obviously shared the moment in Liverpool last season when we win the Champions League. Far from those heights tonight, 0-0. Nothing really happened. I mean, are you quite worried that we've not actually scored at Goodison for 3 years now?
Nah, I don't think it's that much to worry about. I think we were quite poor today. I don't understand why we took off Keita so early. I think he was the real like sort of spark, and Minamino as well. I think he was quite positive. Looked to actually like take initiative and like try and make things happen when he got the ball. And I thought Chamberlain was. I actually said to myself, Chamberlain's been absolutely shocking. And then it was like the 91st minute, he dribbled past three players. I was like, he's about to make me eat my words. But no, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Yeah, I think we have enough fun against them lately. So
yeah,
not scoring for a few games is all right.
Do you know what? It seemed like for me so early on that you could just tell that Everton had set out for a 0-0 draw. I mean, until those three chances happen when Lovren comes on, coincidentally, genuinely, the only time I can remember them even near our goal is when that Richarlison, cross shot kind of flashes past the goal and goes out for a throw in the first half. Apart from the last three chances right at the end, that's all I can remember.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think Alisson was quality as well. Obviously, those two saves in the second half, but that Richarlison shot cross, I think you got a touch on that as well. And just to stay that sharp, I think they mentioned it on comms. I think Neville said it. To stay that sharp when you've had, like, as you say, nothing to do all game is a testament to his quality.
Yeah, I mean, a few years back,
chances
probably lets that go in, doesn't it? Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was just gonna say the chances. Like, to be honest, we didn't really have much either. I think we had a couple of free kicks that, like Fabinho had one, and then Trent, I think, had one in the first half. But the only real chance he had was Firmino when he probably should have laid it on to Keita, who's making a lovely overlap and run. But yeah, just definitely could tell that we've not played for 3 months.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of thoughts leading up to this was, we'll beat Everton and then we'll win it at Palace at home. I mean, our performance today, it looks to me like we need at least another 45 minutes of our starting lineup to play before we even come near to the heights that we were before this. I mean, like you said, we haven't played for 105 days, but with our starting lineup, I think we're gonna bounce back into things pretty quickly. And tonight was far from that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Be interesting to see what the result of the injuries are. Especially Milner. If Milner's out for the rest of the run, be a bit of a loss. Matip, obviously, first game I think since October. But yeah, if Robertson can get back in on Wednesday, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think with Matip, it looked like it was like an impact injury. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
You see him took.
Yeah, I thought he might.
On him.
Yeah, I thought he might carry on. To be fair. But I think no precautions. Every precaution taken. Yeah. I think be good to see them with a few more minutes under the belt, as you say.
So going forward, can you pinpoint the game in which you think we're going to win the league now? Is it going to be at the Etihad, or are we looking at even further past that now? I mean, it's a
I'd love
great
it to be,
question to ask.
Yeah, I'd love it to be the Etihad. But I think so. If we win, if we beat Palace, then I think we only need a point at the Etihad,
Yeah.
and I can see us getting a point. So yeah, let's be confident. Let's say the Etihad.
Love that. Love that.
That'd be
confidence.
fantastic.
Love that, my brother. Listen, we'll stay in touch until the next game. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
Man.
sounds good. And next time, give me a bit more warning, and I'll get the laptop booted up.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And you can make a shave before you come on next time. But all the best.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Waze is in the post. It's in the post.
Take care. All the best, mate.
Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers. Bye.
Right, well, that rounds it up for tonight. We've had 50 minutes of fan chat. That's quite enough for one night. I mean, and listen, we haven't even watched the goal, and we've been talking about Liverpool now for the last 3 hours. So I'm going to have a sit down. Not the result we were looking for today. Obviously, we'll be looking back. We'll be looking to get back to winning ways come Palace. Palace on Wednesday. Big game that is. Very much looking forward to it. But yeah, thanks a lot for all the fans that have come on tonight. It's been amazing to see how this works on the Kop TV, because obviously, as you know, normally I'm outside every stadium speaking face to face to these guys. So thanks to you all for coming on to the stream tonight. I hope you enjoyed the watch along. You can watch that back in the Kop TV. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Kop TV. We've also got Top of the Kops, our new feature show, back on Tuesday with a great guest, and that's every Monday/Tuesday for the foreseeable now. So I will see you back on here on Tuesday with a match preview to the Palace game, as well as a lineup prediction, which I got massively wrong for this game, but it's all good. So yeah, not the result we were looking for tonight, but hopefully we can do better on Wednesday. Until then, take care. You'll never walk alone.